What's up, guys? Welcome to the Final Fantasy podcast for TCG University. We're going to go ahead and get this all started for you. My name is Noah. This over here to my left is
Byron.
And over to my right, we got...
I'm James.
So, we're going to open this up for you guys and ourselves and just kind of give a little groundbreaker to, or icebreaker, let me rephrase that, to how we all got started in the game. So, Byron, you want to start?
Yeah, so I really just love playing card games. So I saw that Final Fantasy was going to be a card game, and then I decided to just end up playing it at my local store at Legendary Wolf Games. And I just really loved it. So I ended up playing it. It's probably the game that I play the most now. So that's pretty much it.
Happens when you have two kids, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly. I barely get enough time to play. So
I'm surprised you can make it out here.
It's so bad.
So I started playing, I think, when Opus 2 came out at a store that now is no longer open currently. And then I never really got into the game, but I got demo to play about when Opus 2 came out, about a couple of packs. And then recently, when we were throwing around the idea of starting this podcast, I was like, I should really get into the game because obviously this is not exclusively a Final Fantasy channel. So we have a Universes podcast, UFS. And we have a Magic podcast currently as well. So I want to really understand most of the games we have just in case we need an extra person on the podcast because people, I can't make it. This happened or this happened. We still need to run the podcast. So that's mainly the reason I'm here. But I really started trying to get in the game recently. But all I have currently is two structure decks thrown together. But we'll get there.
Yeah, I believe in you. I mean, two structure decks ain't a terrible way to start off. Man, how did I get into this game? I think I was playing down on a local card shop, Legendary Wolf Games, same as Byron. And it was really funny because I didn't want to play it all to start off. And I didn't want to play it all to start off. And they were down short a person, and I was like, sure, I've demoed the game a few times. I know the basics of the game. Sure, I'll go ahead and try it, give it a shot. Shane Duckworth, shout outs to that man, makes insanely funny decks to play. Had an all forwards deck. Played no backups, no summons, just pure forwards. It was probably the best deck for me to learn how to play the game with because I didn't have to worry about anything else. I just pitched all the cards out of my hand, played something really big, swung at my opponent, and asked them if they had an answer for it. 90% of the time, they didn't. So I fell in love with the game. I really liked the aggressive playstyle that you can play with all forwards. So the current deck that I run, which is Final Fantasy VII based, that one's super aggressive. My turn one play is usually to have a Zengen in hand so I can pop him onto the field as backup and play Tifa and swing with haste. My opponent really can't do anything about that.
Haste is a keyword I understand. You said words I could understand. I like it.
What does haste mean, James?
You get to attack the turn you play it.
Yeah. Or else, what if they don't have haste?
They just have to sit there and do nothing.
Yeah, that's really boring.
Yeah, it is.
Guess it keeps the game at a slow pace. Well, not slow.
Mid
pace. That's what makes the game
nice
very
mid-range.
Yeah. So, Byron, what's your favorite types of decks to play?
So more recently, I played a fire water deck that basically revolved around Hasting Zidane. I think it was Opus 8 Zidane. So the 2-drop water forward. And that deck is one of the funnest deck I've ever played in any card game.
What is that Zidane do again?
So essentially is when he deals damage, he draws you 2 cards after he deals damage. So you're just having hand advantage is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hand advantage in card games is very nuts.
Well, especially with this game because you're stuck, with 5 6 to 7 at the start, depending on what turn you go?
Yeah, so, I mean, resource management is very important in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've learned from the few games I have been able to play so far.
Yeah.
It's just hand advantage is very, very good because most of the time if you don't get your backups, you have to discard cards to be able to do things, and just sometimes you just can't play cards.
You're off by that 1 CP. Oh, that hurts. I hate that.
Yeah.
That's why we were looking at the Sakura card from the new set, and it was draw 2 for playing a dude. I'm down. I need that. I need that in my deck.
Yeah. No, yeah. Sakura's pretty cool. I really like what she does. But yeah, so Fire Water deck that I play, and it's pretty aggressive. It's a pretty quick deck just because it's trying to haste out a Zidane, and then the card advantage that you gain from hasting Zidane is insane. And I took that to our local qualifier that we had a couple months ago, I'm pretty sure. Don't remember the exact date on that, but I ended up going into top 8 with that deck. And if it wasn't for the deck that was out then, which was the YRP mill deck.
That sounds lame.
Yeah.
Milling in this game is terrible.
How do I build that?
You can't play that anymore because they banned a card from the deck. So
Dang.
Rip the dream.
It's
dude.
really funny because I took a break from Dragon Ball more than recently because I really like Dragon Ball. I was collecting that at the time. Then they had the map for it was Valentine's Day because it's the Boo and Beerus mat.
that mat looks sick.
And I'm a huge Boo fan. Like I almost exclusively just kind of play Boo, but I took Janimba Mill after not playing for like almost a year and just went, I could do this.
I
and
guess
then did that. It was pretty
subject
sick.
for a later date, but I do have one deck that's specifically made to beat that Janimba Mill. It's hilarious.
Like it was just like I needed a deck to do it. And I was talking to Chris Nixon, one of our friends, plays Dragon Ball, hangs out at Legendary Wolf. But like I was talking to him and I was just like, what should I play? What deck right now would be like most to my playstyle? And he's like, you should play Janimba Mill, just lame wall up, mill your opponent out. And I went, okay,
That's why you like ice. You just like to sit there and do nothing for the entire game and laugh at your opponent.
It's really funny because like that's how I play with my life decks and like UFS too. It's just we play this giant wall game of just I'm going to sit here and do nothing and slowly poke you down to dead, and then I win. Sure, we played for 45 minutes and we have hour rounds, but like I won my one game, so like our best 2 out of 3 is just like pretty easy. Can you win your game in 10 minutes? I mean, we just played for 45. I mean,
It's not happening now.
It's like Anakirs from UFS.
That's why I like Isis because it's just like you get to play this. I'll tap this so I don't have to worry about it next turn. Well, then I'll swing and then I'll tap this so I don't have to worry about this for next turn. It's just like cool, my turn. I'll do it again.
Yeah.
It's just like you get to play this. I don't want to worry about that, so I'll hold it for later. I could deal with this. Okay, we did it. We're cool. We're safe.
I'm not gonna lie. I think ice is my actual kryptonite in this game.
Hey, don't worry. You're gonna be able to beat my deck if we play.
I played against a few different ice decks, and like there's a few demo decks that they use for new players at LWG, and it's oh man, just playing demo decks only. That ice deck is actually the best deck that they have there, and I hate it.
It's
I hate it so
because
much.
what it's not freezing, but what's the word? It's for this card game. It's
Doling.
Dolan freeze.
Doling.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then
it
you-
is freeze.
It's
Yeah,
freeze.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're
Doling's
correct.
tapping, freezing
Yeah.
is okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine.
We use freeze now in UFS too,
Yeah,
so
I
I got
know.
really confused real fast.
Well-
but like, that's just a really good mechanic in general if you have no way to combat it.
Yeah, because
Like
it's
it just not being able to play
so
the
hard to
dudes
deal
you
with.
paid cost to play, especially in like in a closed format like demo decks. Like if there's not like a draw 2 or like with your engine, I'll do draw 2 every turn. It's just like you run out of resources, and if your entire thing's tapped, you don't get to do things.
Mm-hmm.
You basically get time locked.
Yeah, it's man, ice with doling and freezing, especially because like there's the 4-drop snow that has what is it a 3-drop Zero or 2-drop Zero that says that you can't attack that or you can't do anything to the snow due to summons or abilities. So that snow
Sounds
sits
sick.
there, and every time any of your dudes swings, snow activates and says, "Oh, I'm gonna dole that card and freeze it." And you're like, "Okay, cool. Like I don't have a blocker."
Anybody
I guess
want
I
a
die."
copy of that card?
Yeah, you should definitely play Snow.
I should
Yeah,
definitely find that card
Snow
for
and
my
Sarah,
deck.
honestly, ooh,
Like-
what a
Like
combination.
I believe my deck is literally a mixture of like up to 10 packs I've bought so far, the Lightning starter deck and the Sarah Moogle starter deck too. It's just a mixture of those. It's just a Lightning ice deck that I just slammed together.
You know, it's really funny when I think of Final Fantasy 13. I think of Snow and Sarah in that dumb ice deck than anything else. Like I can't be
cares
like,
about
oh,
the
lightning
games?"
exists. Like lightning's a character. Lightning's also an element you play. No, just ice. How do I get past ice? You have haste dudes, sure. How do I get past your guys with that freeze and dull my dudes? I can't.
Please
Oh,
stop.
well.
Yeah, that like I want to play more, and I think I'm like ice is gonna be the perfect deck for me. So I'm excited for that.
It's because
We
you're
got
so
it.
stally.
Yeah, you are honestly like. playing against your Goro at the Omaha BTC, man, playing
It's really-
Shadow Man was the worst pick of my life.
It's really funny because like for that deck, it was just like my deck was built to kill people on turn 3, but like if you couldn't deal with somebody blocking one thing through your entire lineup, it's really rough for somebody who can't deal 40 damage in one turn. Like it is.
I could not. Oh man. But so how do you explain the game to newer players if you ever like tried to get somebody into it? How would you describe it?
It's weird to explain it just because it feels like Magic, but I've never played Magic per se.
It feels like the way Magic is described to you.
Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly it. So it just
feels like the way
it's
Magic is described to you. Yep.
Yeah, because obviously in this game you have 4 different types of characters or cards. So there's forwards, backups, monsters, and summons now. Yeah. So backups is very essential to the game, just because that
Unless
is your
you're
resource.
playing all forwards.
Unless you're playing all forwards, which you can do that.
Yo,
Yeah.
you rock hard or go home with that deck. Like, if they can't deal with it quick enough, they're done.
It's just mature 59 all over again. And no one's gonna know what that reference
man.
is.
That deck. But so backups is very essential because it's your resource for the whole game. So you want to try to get to 5 backups as quick as you can. Some people don't like to play that way. I know one of our local players, Ramon, call him Momo, shoutouts. He really is very adamant about going to 5 backups, and that's where he loves to play. And especially he also loves to play at 6 damage, which in this game you have to deal 7 damage in order for you to win the game. And he always says that he always plays his best at 6 damage with 5 backups, just because he can do so much with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
You gotta play your best when you're at death's door, my dude.
I mean,
it's true.
that's kind of what happens. It's
If you're not in the range of dying, are you really trying?
no, you never are. This is why we play all forwards, because then like they beat me up a bit, I beat them up, they beat me back, and then I'm like, oh, I don't have any backups. We'll just pitch this hand, play this dude, and
Did it help?
hope he has haste, or he's a really good blocker, like on cost curve. Hopefully, I definitely attempted to play Magic, so I can say this game feels a bit like it at least, especially with like how Magic is described to people.
Yeah.
It's more of just like how you play dudes, like
Yeah,
just how you play dudes. Because like in Magic, it's play a land. Now next turn, tap land, play a dude. In this game, it's a little easier because you don't have to play your dudes to play. You don't have to play your lands to play other
Yeah,
dudes.
exactly.
You can ditch cards to play dudes. Ditch cards to play your dudes that are lands. Basically, like
Yeah.
just
Exactly the point, because your hand is also a resource in
Yeah.
this game, which is really interesting to me to play like that.
I love that about
It's
this game is that
resource
you can
management.
use
Yeah.
your
That's
hand
one of the
as
things
the resource
Yeah.
along with the backups you play, because you're only allowed 5 backups
Yeah.
at max.
Yep.
That was one of the interesting mechanics at when I was first being taught, like a year or so ago. It was just like that alone is just so baffling. Of just like, how do you ever get to do things?
Yeah.
I cannot fathom only using like 5 I'd never make it to 5 backups. I probably make it to 3 sometimes if I'm really lucky 4 when I play my Final Fantasy 7 deck. Usually because everything in my hand is a summon or forward, and it feels really awkward when my opponent's sitting there with like a full hand and 5 backups and I can't do anything. They have all the advantage at that point, and I just kind of sit there and cry to myself and beg and plead, but nobody ever allows me to actually get through. It's not the best. That's why I don't like ice as well, because they do that.
Hey, you gotta sit behind that wall.
Dude, they'll build a great wall, and it'll tear yours down by just like deconstructing it slightly. They just transmodify it. They're like, oh, your wall's made of iron, it's dirt now. It crumbles easily. Have fun. But like, so we recently had nationals, correct?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was too busy with work to keep up with Nats, but you were
Yeah.
keeping up.
I didn't watch the stream as it was happening. I kind of just rewatched it after it was done, and then I did look at a lot of the decks once it was posted on FF Decks, which is something very useful.
Shout out to that site.
Yeah.
Actually, shout outs to FF Decks. That site is so good for constructing decks, searching up cards, which I have on my phone here as well.
I actually think it's one of the better constructed sites for card games. Just because, like, I mean, we've all played a lot of card games. I played Yu-Gi-Oh! And Final Fantasy now, and then UFS and Cardfight Vanguard for a little bit, it was okay. But yeah, it's probably the best site that I've ever had for any card game to be able to use that. So,
I really like UFS's deck building site. I think that one's very, very, very good. But I like the tournament report of this, and this is actually today the first time I've ever seen it. Mm-hmm. I actually love all this.
I think this site's insane. It lets me look up any of the job classes I want. It allows me to look up multiple different deck types built under multiple different symbols. So, like, for instance, if I wanted to look up, I think it goes up to 3 symbols sometimes, or 3 elements, right?
To look up?
Yeah. Because I've at least seen that you can do, like, fire and wind and all the different combinations of 2 of them, but I want to say there was at least one that was like a tricolor that I could have looked at before. Which, by the way, tricolor is really weird, really janky for me to play, and whoever plays tricolor, best of luck, because I can't do it.
Well, so for Nationals, the person that won, which was Sam Prime, he was playing a tricolor deck, which is a tricolor.
It looks like lightning, water, and ice.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So, I mean, that deck is so good.
There's a reason he won that. He can play a tricolor. I can't.
Can you, James?
I could barely play. So let's work on playing before we get to playing more than 2 colors.
Fair enough. I really wish I did end up watching that stream, because, like, watching this game be played is one of the weirdest experiences. Like, I love watching it be played. It's usually the same as, like, a lot of things. The first few turns take a bit. But when the game really kicks off, usually around turn 3, when, like, a lot of the big dudes are coming out and, like, your opponents are constantly entering each other and the stack happens, that's when the game really kicks off. That's where I like to watch everything unfold.
Yeah. So we just want to take a quick look at the decks that were being played at Nationals. So let's see.
It's 8:30
It's 8:34 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and I just got this deck.
They didn't even put an M on there. What is 8:30 then? Is it just after?
That's AM.
There's no M.
That's how I use
8:30
AM.
8:30 I don't. What are we A-ing at? Yo, there's no M. We don't know the actual time frame he put that together. I just want to. But I think. What are some of the cards he's playing in that deck that, like, really?
So I mean,
brighten it up.
One of the more instrumental cards, I think, to the deck is Agrius. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I said it wrong, oh well, it happened.
Final Fantasy names, ladies and gents, it's a hassle sometimes.
Especially for not playing any of the games prior to playing the TCG. I don't know any of these names. But yeah, I think that's probably one of the more instrumental cards in the deck.
About Kane?
No.
Because that's what I'm looking at right now, and this seems nuts.
I mean, Kane's a good card, but I think Agrius is... Have you read it?
No, I haven't. Agrius?
Yeah.
If you control 7 or more characters, Agrius gets 2,000. When Agrius enters the field, choose one of the top cards of your deck until a character of a cost 3 less is revealed, played on the field. So play a do for free?
Yeah.
Sick.
And then Fusoya, the 7-drop lightning card.
Oh, he looks...
What does Fusoya do?
He looks
All
like
right, so what it does is the cost required to cast your summon can be paid with CP of any element. That's...
I see.
He lets you try.
Okay.
He makes tri-symboling.
That actually makes...
easy.
Yep, okay.
So that's a pretty cool effect, but the main part of the card is that when Fusoya enters the field, choose one forward opponent controls, reveal the top 2 cards of your deck, deal it 1,000 damage for each CP required to play the revealed cards. Add all the revealed cards to your hand. So if you have...
Add the cards to your hand?
Yeah.
So, how much does Fusoya cost?
It's a 7 CP cost, but it's getting you 2 cards back after you...
Yeah, so it's essentially netting you 4 CP back, and you're paying 3 for it, basically.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
pretty good,
and
actually.
You're basically getting rid of something on your opponent's board.
Which removal in this game is so strong.
Yeah.
If your opponent has no forwards, they can't attack, and like it's real hard to put a forward on there and let it stick a lot of times too.
Yeah. So like when I saw, when I was watching the stream after it ended, I rewatched some of the matches, and they sometimes opted after like turn 2 if they only had a couple backups, they still would play Fusoya to get rid of stuff because you're just getting those cards back in your hand.
This Ramza is really good too. The cost required to play Ramza on the field is reduced by 1 for each forward you control. It can't become 0. And then for each other forward other than Ramza you control, it gets 1,000 power. Then if it's over 10k, it gets haste. And then when it attacks, choose one forward of 3 or less your opponent controls and break it.
Oh yeah, that is actually pretty. That's a lot on one card. In like, man,
I think just gaining haste is nuts with this thing.
Actually, yeah, I think haste is probably one of the nuttier keywords in this game because everything comes in with summoning sickness. Yeah, we had damage come in Opus 8. Which
is that just like burn? I have not actually looked into.
So,
it. I just saw that it was
damage just started in Opus 10.
Oh yeah, sorry, Opus 10.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that was the set that just came out.
We knew that was the new set. We were thinking of Opus 8. I don't know why.
So what does damage do?
Yeah, so damage is the new keyword that we have that start. What are the numbers for it? Is it 5, 3, and 1?
I don't remember exactly. I think they have it for all the way up to 5.
For all the way up to 5.
I believe so. But don't quote me. I'd have to
damage
double check on
says
that.
this ability can go off once you hit this certain point of damage. So usually like certain damage characters that I've been looking through so far in Opus 10 are like initially they come in and they ping something for like 1 or 2k or something, but if you're at like 5 damage or whatever, they ping something for like 6 or 7k, like it bumps it up really high. I think damage is going to be a real fun keyword to mess with. It allows, or not allows, I guess it encourages a lot more risky plays with life taking and such that can have way higher rewards in the end.
Yeah.
Then again, if you're playing an EX burst deck, then it doesn't matter if you take damage because you're always getting value off of it.
That's pretty good.
I think EX burst is also super busted.
This card's also very nuts.
Which one?
Renoa. When Renoa enters the field, choose one other forward you control and remove from the game. Then play the removed forward back Dole. Just like that plus, like if you drew that off of your Fusoya, sick. I'll drop it. Play the Fusoya again.
Exactly. That's
so nuts.
Yeah.
You get so you draw the 2, and then you're like, I'm gonna pitch these 2. Play Renoa, pop Fusoya.
Fusoya back in. Do the top 2 again. To have another one? Do a bunch of combos. It's like, did it turn this Ramza into a 1? I'll pay the 1.
Right, like might as well.
Sick. 10k with haze, popping it out. Like,
what are speaking of which, what are cards in the new set, if you've seen any, that you think are like really good? Personally, I think what is the Thanatos? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Thanatos.
I
think that card's insane. I don't know how it's pronounced.
Thanos? Man.
Thanos.
Yeah,
But
Thanos for short.
Yeah, we'll call him Thanos for right now.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves. Dude, this guy's insane. So he says summons their abilities of your opponent must choose him if possible. And then when he's chosen, if your opponent's summon a 5 or less, or abilities of characters of 5 or less cost, you cancel the effect. So he costs 7 to play, which is hefty, but it makes sense because he literally just says your opponent can't do anything. All of their abilities get shut down. All of their summons are shut down. So they like, and that really sucks too because summons are like really big playmakers in this game. Summons really help push forward certain turns.
Yeah, but I mean, if you see the list that got first place, Sam Prime, that wasn't playing any summons. So
that man was being ballsies with the tricolor though. Like I don't think he needed summons at that point.
I don't know if it was being ballsy because that deck looked like it just works.
Yeah, it's really cool to see how that deck plays. It's
just like looking at all the small combos. Just me going through it seems nuts.
Yeah,
just Fiosa from the one thing is just man.
I'm super excited for the Zac that also came out in this set because I like Final Fantasy VII, and this Zac says that my Opus 8 5-drop Cloud gets to ping something like 3 separate times if need be. Hilarious.
On top of the damage that Cloud's already going to do as well.
So Cloud comes in, and he's at least doing 3k to 1 forward, no matter what. And then you add an extra, 1,000?
It's 1,000 per each damage that you have taken already.
Yep.
So it's...
Cloud was damage before damage even became a thing.
Yeah.
Don't at me at that.
But yeah, no, the interaction between Cloud and Zach is really cool. And it's definitely a really good card for any fire deck. Just because Zach's also going to ping you 2,000 for either when Zach enters or when a fire forward enters as well.
And fire already pings for a lot. Like, oh man. Playing a mono fire deck, which I've at least played a few. I played a samurai one, which was really interesting. But like, fire just innately pings things. So you're constantly either removing your opponent's forwards or damaging them so they can't block. I love it. I love it so much. I think there's the new Titus that we also have in Opus 10. They also give it to you for the pre-release. Between him and the old 4-drop Titus that says when he swings all of your water forwards gain 10k, gain 1,000 power. And this one says when you play them they gain it for the turn. I'm really like struck between which one I think is better. So I feel like you play him first and then you play the 4-drop one after.
We
the,
can't
the
have
initial. Oh yeah, you can't
You
play
can't-
both.
yeah.
Unless it's title. We play title, guys. That's it.
Yeah, so one of the main things about this card game is on the card itself, if it has a symbol on the top right corner of the card, it would say it shows like three cards in that corner. That means that you can play 3 of that card and the name on the board at the same time. And if it doesn't, then you can only have 1 copy of that card, name wise as well, on the board. So that's really, it's kind of interesting.
What if you just play him at a 1-of and you play 3 of the other one and you find a way to or like you hope your opponent either has a way to remove him or you have a static way of removing him. They were like,
there's
he's at
ways
least
to bounce
useful.
the cards back to your hand.
Yeah, you are playing water at least when you're playing this deck. So
Yeah, there's I think it's Scholar. It might be Scholar. I would need to double check, but there's a water backup 2 cost that bounces the card back to your hand. So
don't bounce that back up then with this one because doesn't he bounces the backup and then bounces an opponent's forward back into their hand, right? Sorry.
check, yeah.
Yeah, we need to double check that. So when he enters the field, you may return 1 backup you control to its owner's hand, and then if you do, choose 1 forward, return it to it. So it can be any forward actually. So you can pop him back into your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
after
it's
his
a
effect goes
scholar,
off.
and it looks like it's from
That way
the
you can
first
play
set?
the other one.
yeah.
Yeah, from the first set. Tap, put scholar into the break zone, choose a forward you control, return to the owner's hand.
Yeah.
Solid backup.
Yeah, so that's really good for water.
Play cool things again.
There's also the Sakura, which
Yes,
James
I
was,
like
James
the
was
Sakura.
hardcore looking at the Sakura and he was like, "This card's insane."
Just because my deck has no draw power because it's just obviously 2 structure decks, but just the when Sakura enters the field, if your opponent controls a damage forward, draw 2 cards is just nuts. Just okay, I don't like 4K to this because I'm going to kill it later. I'll play this, draw 2, kill it now.
Yeah.
Just,
Especially if you use backups instead and you don't actually pitch cards out of hand, then you have more cards to play with and you have more CP to use.
especially if it's just like a 2-drop. I'll pitch 1 card, play it.
We got really disorganized there. So
Yes.
we
We
were on the
skipped-
initial topic
we
of
were-
nationals.
and we
So we should
skipped it.
probably explain more and talk more about national. Did you actually watch the top deck be played?
Yeah, because I watched the video of the finals.
Okay.
But yeah, so really quick about nationals. So it was a 2-deck format. So you had to build 2 separate decks, and you couldn't. I'm gonna double check really quick, but I believe that you could not have more of 3 of the 3 same card in more than 1 deck. So
let me look at this other deck. We'll see.
yeah, so if you wanted to
They
play,
look completely different. So
So is it
probably.
like teams for other card games where like you can't have
yeah, you essentially can't have the same card.
you
in-
can't have
the same in 2
anything
decks.
exceeding the base number, right?
Yeah.
So with this game it's 3, so you can't play like 4 of a card and have 3 in one deck and 1 in the other.
Yeah,
Got
exactly.
you. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it looks
I
like.
mean that makes sense. Really.
And that guy playing 73 fire must have been working really hard to get to that number. Because if you can't play more across the entire thing, that's rough.
Well, the thing is that the way that that was, I believe, Chris Lopez is his name.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, so
Yes.
he is a local player from KC, Kansas City, and so his 2 decks that he played was obviously mono fire, and then fire and ice. And a lot of the cards are actually there's a lot of good fire cards. So
I'm
he was
looking at the same card like 5 times. We got a
If-
free
yeah, okay.
second set Opus 2 second card. You got a free Opus 4 third card. You got a free ninth set.
So that's why he played. So
That Afrida, I love that card. That card's insane.
that's why he was playing 15 summons, and they're all Ifrits and then Ifrita. So 12 of them were Ifrits, and then the other 3 were Ifrita. So essentially, for Ifrita, you have to have, in order for you to use all 3 of the effects on the card, you have to have 5 Ifrits or Ifritas in your break zone.
Yeah, and what is she? She says if you have a total of 5 or more cards named Afrida or Ifrit in your break zone, before paying the cost for, her, you select up to 3
Instead
of the
of
3
one.
following
Instead of just, like,
actions.
one.
So you get to choose a forward and bump and ping it for 7k. Hilarious. You get to choose a monster of cost 3 or less and break it, which is really good because there's not a lot of monster removal, and if somebody has a monster that sticks to the board that really benefits their deck, and you don't have a way to answer to it, you're kind of like sitting in the water and having to play around you can't play into it or get rid of it. You got to play around it. And then she says, "What deal 3,000 or deal 3k damage to all forwards your opponent controls." So you get to ping something for 7, and then if it's at 10, you get to hit it again for 3 and the rest of their board. So if they're playing like a lot of low cost dudes like Chocobos, for instance, dead. They're all gone.
Yeah.
We're eating chicken tonight, boys.
I couldn't even get that out. Oh my god. There we go.
There you go. Yeah, so like the whole deck, I mean, he wants all the Ifrits and Ifritas in his break zone. That way he can activate all 3 of the effects on Ifrita. And then a lot of his summons, I think all of them except Ifrita are actually EX bursts.
Oh yeah, she's not an EX burst.
Yeah,
Rip
she's the only one that's not
dream.
an EX burst.
I remember playing in the Opus 9 pre-release, and I got one of this card and lost everything. I wanted to keep this card, and I still do, because I think this card's beautiful. Once I get enough Ifrits and a few more Afritas, because I only have the one currently, to build a deck with this, we're going ham. I'm going to kill everything.
So let's go over top 8 of just like player wise real quick. We got Sam Prime in first, Emmanuel Padilla, and second Benjamin Perot in
Parrot. It's actually Parrot.
It is Parrot.
Yeah, it's Parrot.
In
You're so bad at
third,
names.
Zachary Burrell in fourth, Chris Lopez in fifth, along with Alan Shea or Shu in fifth, Chris Daniel in seventh, as well as Sam Twell and Tool, man, in seventh. Usually I'm good with names, man.
Are you sure?
Yeah, like I'm doubting that one really hard, considering you needed help with like 7 out of the 8 players.
So I found the thing I like most about this game so far. You get to name your decks.
Yeah. That's really cool.
That's
part
my
of the game.
like the 2 decks played by Sam Prime. It's 8:34 a.m. Saturday morning, and I just got this deck in Psalms 104:3.
I wish I understood that the second one. Maybe I'll go up and read
we'll
on
just,
it.
We'll
but-
just look it up. I looked it up already, actually.
All right, so you're already being us to the point. Cool.
Yeah.
James is
I
actually
looked it
doing
up.
something for
I
once.
looked it up when we were talking about it. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters? Who maketh the clouds his chariot? Who walketh upon the wings of the wind?
Hashtag deep.
His deck is all green. That's like the wind symbol, right?
Yeah.
Like wind is green.
Yep.
So like it makes a lot of sense because like that's like an entirely green deck. Is what
Yeah.
it looks like.
It plays for how the deck runs. Soft and wet. Oh,
Emmanuel playing soft and
that
wet
feels
and
like a JoJo reference, and I
Crazy
like
Diamond
that.
and Crazy Diamond.
Oh,
Being,
yep, it is. Okay, never mind. Hold on. Is he? Those are Josuke references then. Because Soft and Wet is the part 8 Josuke, and then Crazy Diamond is part 4. Never mind. Don't mind me. What do we have next?
Benjamin playing The Deck Will Blow You Away. All air again.
I mean,
And Mono Lopez.
Mono.
Lopez. God,
Yeah.
I am way too tired, apparently.
So
we're not letting you call out these names anymore.
Okay, so really quick, so that Mono Lopez, it's that mono fire deck that there are 3 mono fires in top 8, and that deck is really cool. So
Monkey See the Rumback. which is a very fun name. Man, everybody in this top 8 like knows each other. It's really funny. Like, get tooled. Spelt like Sam Tool at the from some place.
Is it really?
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
And then you get 73 fire cards by Chris Lopez. Cody, you good? Chris Lopez. Tony Jin's Water Lightning. And then Tony Jin's Water Wind. pretty good names.
I mean, having the ability to name your own deck, you kind of just go with what you feel is right, I guess.
Pat Giles made me hate 6 of these cards by Chris Daniel. Dragon of the Darkness Flame, Chris Daniel. You Say Run, Sam Tool, and Yellow, Sam Tool.
Yellow? That's it?
Just yellow.
All right, I got to give respect on that one. One word, really clean, real simple. Yellow.
Plays a lot of lightning. Or not lightning.
Earth.
That's Earth.
Yes. Yellow is Earth.
Yellow's Earth.
Yeah.
I'll have to try and remember that. It doesn't look like lightning at all.
Well, you see, lightning
Lightning's
has
purple.
the lightning symbol.
Yeah, but like
when
I don't see lightning in the sky and go, oh, that's a sick purple color. It's white or like yellow.
You see lightning in the sky and go, oh, good thing that wasn't on me. Oh.
Good thing I'm alive.
Right. Woo, we're not the lightning rod tonight.
So is there one deck that you guys really liked out of top 8? I don't know if you guys had a chance to look through every single one.
I didn't look through every single one, but I'm really liking that first place deck. Like the tri-symbol.
The tri-symbol, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So if we're going off names, personally, I think Pat Giles made me hate 6 of these cards. It's hilarious. That means he's playing a deck with 6 cards that he extremely hates. And he's fine with that.
Giving homage to the person who hate him.
Like I don't know.
It's really funny.
Like, dude.
Like if we're going off of names, I like Get Tooled.
Get Tooled's really good.
I think that's really funny, especially with like him in the tops too.
I completely forgot that people name their own decks sometimes, and like when I go on FF Decks and I look at this, I'm like, you have some weird deck names. Like the community come up. No, they just decided to name it this because they felt like it at the time, and I'm like, oh,
it's 8:34 on a Saturday.
Gotta be honest with them. If you're gonna lose, this is why.
We just pulled into the parking lot. I pulled this out of my friend's bag. Left my deck at home.
Man.
So, James, why do you like the tricolor symbol?
I like the cool combos. I like all the combos. Like it's just like play Fuyusa, play the one thing. I was looking at the what was it? 'Cause I mentioned it when we first started. Where'd it go? The one at the bottom, the 8th or 9th, the 9-drop or 8-drop or whatever. The bottom one.
Oh, Kane?
Yeah, Kane. Yeah. Like that just really like if you're built on tri-assembly is using a bunch of backups.
Yeah.
Like that card just says, well, I really need this backup to exist right now for Nick's turn. I'll pop this backup I don't need, play this thing for cheaper, and be able to play another backup to match the colors I need for Nick's turn. Being a tri-symbol deck, I just think that really like helps his plan.
But it has to be an active lightning backed up in order for you to...
Hey, I mean, if you really need that ice or that water, I mean,
yeah, I suppose
the price of one active backup, you're set up for Nick's turn. Like you just like the idea of just like having the availability to switch up how you're tri-assembling at the time is just really cool.
Yeah, it almost feels kind of toolboxy.
Yeah, especially with like the way like the one thing just says, yeah, we don't care about costs.
Yeah,
we don't care about colors right now. And then just like being able to like, I drew 2 off of this thing. I play this thing on drop these 2 cards, play this thing, pick this up.
Oh, with Renoa?
Yeah. Pick up more cards and just do a bunch of loopy cool combo shit. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, that's definitely a really good deck, and I want to say it was probably the deck of the Nationals.
If I was gonna build a deck like top tier deck right now, I'd probably build that just because it seems really cool and fun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just off of just like how much fun it looks like. It has.
What about you, Noah?
I really want to know what these 6 cards are that like Chris Daniels hates. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm looking through this deck and I'm trying to figure it out. And like I see Duncan, and I almost want to say Duncan might be one of them. But then again, it could be like other cards that I just haven't ever paid attention to.
I mean, Locke has always been such a good card.
Yeah,
ever since it came out.
Locke's man. For 3 costs, this lock's not too bad. My phone would let me look it up as well. So.
Is it this Veritas the Dark? Because I'm not a big fan of that one.
Everyone,
I'm not even.
I don't want to say everyone, but Veritas I think has a lot of people that dislike that card.
Veritas is.
It's
I'm gonna be honest. I don't like Veritas. Every time it's played against me and it kills my Barret, I get really sad. And then I kill it, and then I kill one of my backups because it says you pop any character.
yeah.
I'll take a backup if it gets rid of that card. That card hurts a lot. And it makes me feel sad every time it's played against me.
I was watching a video, and I think Veritas is probably like one of the cards that people want it for it to get banned.
I mean, it would make sense. You
Yeah.
play it and it just auto breaks
just because it's so oppressive.
Yeah.
In some decks.
And then when it leaves, it kills something as well. Like
Yeah.
that
I
actually.
like the other day when we were first hanging out talking about this entire thing. The deck you were playing it was playing that card, right? You were playing Veritas.
I believe it was my Mono Water.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it was Ramon's Mono Water. Shoutouts.
Like that deck playing that thing, it didn't feel oppressive because of the dude. It felt oppressive because of what the dude did to himself to get hand advantage. Like I played a dude, it lets me draw a card. I play this dude, it blows up a dude. I draw a card. This dude lets me play these other two dudes. I'll blow them up so I draw more cards. I'm just
Oh, you're talking about
the
Fanfrits
and the Viking and
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay. So the Mono Water deck that Ramon built, and it's probably the deck that I really enjoy playing right now too. It plays the 3-drop Fanfrit and the 6-drop Fanfrit, and with Mono Water you play Yuna, which makes your summons 1 cost cheaper, and it's pretty oppressive sometimes.
Like it wasn't even impressive because what you put on the board. It's just the hand advantage that let him put it on the board. It was just yeah, sure, draw 4 cards and then play dudes. That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't stop it.
Yeah.
Pretty
But
nuts.
so the deck that I really liked from top 8 was that Mono Fire, just because it feels kind of toolboxy, because you recycle some of your summons with the new Terra, and that came out in Opus 10. Do you have one?
This beautiful EX
No,
first
no,
girl.
no.
Ah,
Fire.
I'll play
This is Mono Fire. Yeah.
Okay. Listen, you said Terra. This is the first one that came to mind. I forgot about Mono Fire existing.
Yeah, well, the new Terra that came out, it's an EX burst card. When Terra enters the field, choose 1 summon in your break zone, add it to your hand. When you cast a summon, choose 1 forward opponent controls, deal it 2,000 damage. So your summons that were dealing not enough to kill your opponent's forwards now have enough damage to kill your opponent's forwards because of that 2,000 that you're getting from Terra as well.
Yeah.
And you get to pick up a card.
I see why.
Exactly.
Probably that. What's the Lolita or whatever? I already don't remember.
I believe in you. Come on.
Liddy or Litty?
Whatever the one thing is. You're it's literally you're looking at it.
Oh, Ilfrit?
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
How
I
did
don't know
you
where
get?
you're going with that.
All right.
So
I see.
my
So
phone
Ifrit's
died.
got a new name. I'm into it. It's a little weird. We still got to figure out the kinks, but I think I like Lolita. Is that what we're going with?
No.
My
we
phone
tried.
died, so I couldn't re-look it up.
Yeah, but I mean, so that's where the toolbox of this deck kind of comes into play. Is that
Just the way it looks is just being able to do that, get to power up your dudes and pick that up.
Exactly.
To be able to do cool things is just nuts.
Yeah, and obviously this deck, the Mono Fire, they also played 2 Veritas in it.
There's a lot more combo in this game than I thought there was.
Yeah, there can
initially.
Wait till stacks open up. Oh boy, that's a lot of fun.
I dislike stacks. I mean, it feels complicated. It seems easy to learn, but it's actually very complicated when you get to a certain level of competitive play.
Yeah. When it goes your way, stacks is amazing. When it's not going your way, but just a bit, you're kind of I don't like how this is going regardless. Sure, I get to kill his dude, but now I'm losing 3 guys on top of that. Feels bad. It's a real danger. And stacks just kind of opens up. Nobody gets to choose when it happens. It just opens itself. Mm-hmm. It's like entering the zone. When you get to that level of expertise, you don't choose when to hit it. It just opens up for you. I hope people get that reference, by the way, but it probably not.
We'll have to talk about it later.
Just a bit. But
I have a guess of what it is.
what do you think it is?
Is it a Crocodile Basket reference?
Yep.
Okay.
I just finished watching that. Honestly though,
Michael's off screen.
whoa. Sorry, we're supposed to be talking about Final Fantasy, not anime, James. What are you doing?
Comedically breaking the silence.
There's a silence?
Nope.
Well, I
I'm
guess
doing
you
my
keep getting
job-
rid of it.
I'm doing my job incorrectly.
So, besides that, the meta at Nats, from what it seems, was pretty well rounded, I think.
To a certain extent, I think, because
Fair enough.
I think that obviously the tricolor deck or tri-symbol, that was very prominent, I think, throughout the whole national tournament. And then Mount of Fire obviously was pretty good too, because I mean there's 3 of them in top 8. So there's three people wanted to play Mount of Fire as one of their decks that they got to choose.
So everybody should just build Fire and roll with that because it seems to be doing really good. Don't actually just build Fire, build other decks too. But like, if you want a really good shot at seeing how competitive this game can be, I guess build Fire.
Yeah, or the Agrius deck. That's probably the best deck.
I'm still surprised that a tricolor deck won. Like, I can't get my head around that because
It's a combo deck. I can see how it wins.
well, I mean, like, I guess once you
Like-
sit down and look through the deck and everything, yeah, it all makes sense. But like, when I first think of tricolor, no.
But you
Like,
got-
I guess I don't see this like I haven't played enough of this game to like see it like that. Because like I just looked at it and went, this combos with this and this combos with this and this combos with this. It's just like if you get like one piece, you just like go off like for no reason.
you also got to think about it too that this deck that he played, there's been so many competitive and I want to say pro players in this game that have worked on that deck.
Fair enough.
Yeah, they put a lot of time into making that deck happen, and I mean, you can see the results.
It wins. Hey, if tricolors wins, then like, can we get quad colors?
It's pushing it.
What do you mean, man? Tricolor won. Now we just gotta have everybody play quad colors for like a season, and then somebody's gonna win with quad colors.
And then someone's got to win with 5 colors.
Yeah, and then we just keep going up. Like we're not stopping ever. Then we're gonna win with like
5 colors, no backups.
5 colors, all forwards, no backups. I love it. I love that idea.
It's kind of what Shane plays.
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, it's like it's kind of quad because the Dawn Warrior engine plays like 3 different colors in and of itself. That's fair. Speaking of which, so the meta that we have currently at our locals. Now, I've been in and out of our locals a bit due to like life things, as people are. But last time, like there was a big shift was when EX Burst was like the hot craze for everyone. Holy heck, that was rough. I hated that. It was fun to watch,
I have an idea
but when
for
I
it.
started playing the game, it was terrible. EX Burst. How do you describe an EX Burst? Not just in mechanics, but just as it happens to you.
Distasteful. Very distasteful.
Lux act.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you're like, oh, I couldn't draw it in my hand. I'll get the same effect, but probably better on an EX Burst. I'll take the life. I hate that. I think EX Bursts are hilarious, and like playing an EX Burst deck, sure, it's fine. Like my deck plays a decent amount. Like my first 4 hits, I could pop EX Burst and be like, oh, I benefit off this. But if I don't, and my opponent does, I'm at a severe disadvantage at that point, and I don't like sitting at a severe disadvantage because
Hey,
I'm
but
relying
now,
on
but not like
on
your EX Burst deck like benefits because the new damage cards.
Ah,
Yeah.
That's true.
hey, that is true.
I'm back. I haven't played this game enough, but I'm good at card games to see combos. I'll face tank, pop abilities, damage ability. We did it.
Yeah, I mean
Thanks
at that
for
point,
hitting me.
we're going in, boys. Take the damage. I mean, shoot, if that's the case, an all EX Burst deck with that
That
I don't-
plays
there,
damage
there
cards?
are damage cards that also have EX. Are there? I don't think there are yet.
I'd have
I
to
have
look at the.
no
I'd
idea.
have to look at the new set.
Yeah, I'd have to double check as well.
I haven't seen the set at all.
It's been a hot minute.
This is like the most of what I've seen of the set.
The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards we have laid out for
Yeah.
you.
Oh, I saw that Black Knight in there too because I like that Black.
Oh,
and
the
that's Sarah
the Dark
too.
Knight, yeah.
Yeah, I looked through and saw all the cards that match the starter decks I have slapped together.
He's only interested in his own interests, guys.
Hey, yes sir, somewhere.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. So, what did you feel that the meta was like, Byron?
For a local.
Yeah.
It's interesting for sure. I think that our local meta doesn't really take well to the meta everywhere else. I think people are kind of more focused on their own ideas instead of net decking per se. I am not. I like to net deck, and that's how I kind of get my ideas. Or I just ask Ramon for what deck did you just build? I'm gonna play that deck. But yeah, I think
It's 8:34 in the morning. On
I
a
mean,
Saturday.
you're not net decking that one. You had a really weird fever dream. You woke up and you were like, "This has to work," and it did.
exactly. But yeah, I think our local meta is more about memes per se.
Yeah, it is a very "don't let your memes be dreams" kind of meta sometimes.
Yeah.
Like with Shane's Ollie X burst.
Yeah.
Or the all forward. I felt like all forwards was actually a big meme for a while, because like being able to play a Gilgamesh and then use the ability after swinging to tap him because he had Brave, pitch a Gilgamesh, and then mill the top card that's always a forward and kill something was hilarious. Your opponent actually just couldn't attack you if they couldn't play anything more than like 2 forwards a turn.
Yeah.
You just
so
kept
sick.
breaking him down. Yeah, I
like meme formats. I play a lot of memes in other card games. So
You fit in really well in our local.
yeah, I mean, like, you actually are just a living meme, by the way.
I know. I take nothing seriously and do everything for a joke. It's great.
Is it really though?
I have fun.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I enjoy listening to all of the things you say and watch all the things you do.
I get roasted a lot for no reason. On the other podcast for no reason. But hey, what are you gonna do, right?
So I think we have to like start ganging up on him later. That way he feels at home here too.
You gotta wait till I'm good at this game.
Oh, so then,
Not gonna happen.
so never then. No, I'm just kidding.
Nice. I'm setting up for. I'm gonna have a good, nice, friendly podcast with friends where I'm not attacked.
That's not happening.
That's
Not
how we
anytime soon.
reel you in, James.
Just
Hook, line, and sinker.
Ease it in.
Once we gotcha.
Honestly, our locals meta is really weird. Like,
Yeah, it's kind of funky because like so we had our win a box tournament today on Sunday.
Or yesterday. At this point, I think it's like midnight. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
Yesterday,
So yesterday,
so
Sunday,
we had it yesterday.
Sunday the 10th of November, right?
Yes.
Tomorrow's the 11th.
Yes.
Or today's the 11th.
Today is the
Today's
11th.
the 11th. Okay. Yes.
It's 8:34.
Listen, we can just act like it's the same day.
Exactly.
We're not there yet.
But yeah, so we had a win a box tournament, and we actually had a really big turnout, which was 18 players.
I saw
which
there
is-
was a picture of it.
Wait,
Yeah.
we had 18.
18 players
So
for
see-
the tournament.
I got there late, so like there were like 5 or 6 people left.
Well, that's when we were playing top 8.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah.
18 players is insane, actually.
Yeah. Which I think it's a little funky that we did a top 8 with only 18 players, but you know, whatever.
Why
I
not?
guess.
Math wise, I think that's fine. Like I think, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
I think if it's over 16, 8 is fine.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways,
It's really it's bordering that line of like should it be a 4, should it be an 8?
yeah. And I mean, if it was a 4, I wouldn't have played top 8. So I was happy.
Who's
but
complaining?
you know,
Who's complaining?
I wasn't making there, but because we did top 8, I was fine with it.
yeah,
I
exactly.
made it.
You know, it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, so it was a big turnout, which is really great, especially for our locals. And there's only one player that was actually out of state, I believe, which was Kyle. I didn't get his last name, but he's from Kansas City.
Shout out to that dude.
Yeah,
KC just has like
really nice guy.
a lot of solid players there, I think.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, because the Lopez guy, Chris
Yeah.
Lopez, he won nationals last year. So I mean, their whole local is just stacked. They're all good players. Yeah. But yeah, so it was really good. And I mean, I ended up going 3-2 for Swiss, and then I lost in top 8 to a meme.
What was it?
So his name was John. Shoutouts. He was playing Eldnarch, I think it is. That 6-drop dark forward, who has 10k power.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
I think
though,
that's how
yeah.
you pronounce it. I'm not entirely sure.
We'll double check.
Yeah. So he was playing that card, and then he also played Camelot. So there's a lot of dark cards. But yeah, that card I couldn't get 10,000 damage
So
on it. But yeah, he was playing that, and then he also played Zodiac, which is that card. It was interesting. to play against. But
Describe what it does for people who
all right,
may not know.
Let me look it up before I just don't say the correct thing.
Okay, here we go. So we found Eldnarch.
Yeah,
We're
that's
gonna go
right.
with that. I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced. It says, hold on. Yeah, if he leaves the field, you return to your hand instead. So your opponent wastes a butt ton of CP and stuff to get rid of the card, and
then
you're
you
like,
just get to play it
back to my hand, dude. They're like, all right, that's cool. And then he has the special. You pitch another one, and that's it. Which, that's actually insane. You get another one. You just pitch another Eldnarch, and you take one more turn, and then after that you lose. So he's like, what do you?
So I was playing Monofire, and I was
He's
playing
the
the
do-over
Monofire
button.
list from Nationals, and I couldn't get over his 10k booty easily. So I had to waste a lot of resources, and the fact that he just kept playing it on board really sucked.
Yeah, a card, once it's there, it just kind of stays. Especially if they have the board to keep paying for it. Like,
Yeah, and then there's another instance that happened with the Zodiac. So it is
It's a 7-drop. If you control a dark forward, the cost to cast Zodiac, Keeper of the Precepts, is reduced by 3, making it a 4.
yeah.
Break all forwards your opponent controls. You receive damage equal to the number of forwards broken by this effect.
Yeah, so
Dang.
so this is what happened. So he played that card, and I had a Terra and another fire forward out. So I ended up playing a summon, one of the Ifrits, and I was going to be able to do 10k damage to his Eldnarch, and he ended up playing Zodiac on the stack. So
rip.
he got rid of my 2 forwards, and then I wasn't able to ping for 2,000 with Terra either. So he made me kind of fizzle my card out.
Solid.
Hold on, that card says you take damage.
Yeah, so
Does
he
it say
took
that?
2 damage. He took 2 damage by breaking my 2 forwards.
So do EX bursts go off? Because there are certain cards that say that EX bursts don't trigger when you take damage to this card. So if he takes damage from that one, does he also get the EX burst on top of it? Then
I believe so. Yeah, it doesn't-
that's busted.
Yeah.
I actually don't like. I like that
Works good
card.
with
It's
damage.
cool.
Works good with damage cards in the next set too.
My opponent never touches me. I kill their dudes, and then they touch me,
Yeah.
and then we play more dudes that hurt them more.
Yeah, and I was playing the Ifrit that it says that if you have, okay, so it deals, I believe, 4,000 damage, but if you have five fire characters, then it deals 7,000. So
That's
I ended up only having-
Eldritch.
yeah, exactly, and that's the thing. So with Terra, that would have been 9k, and then I still had another card that I could ping it for 1,000. But he ended up getting rid of my 2 forwards, so I didn't have my 5 fire characters. So I only ended up doing 4,000 instead of the 7,000 that I was planning on doing. So then he just basically fizzled out my card, and I just wasn't able to kill it.
Solid.
Yeah. So that was
Some
interesting.
good plays.
Yeah.
So also, because I don't think we've at least gotten the basis of how it works. The stack for any new players watching resolves from the last instance of a card being played or an ability being played. So what was the name of that card again? I'm so bad at this. The 7-drop. Yeah.
Zodiac?
Yeah. So Zodiac was the last one played. So its abilities or its effects go first, which then drops down in the stack to the next card, and so on and so forth. So if requirements are met, things fizzle out, which is usually why you want to be the last one to play a card in the stack, more than likely.
Oh, this sounds fine. Okay, you guys were making. I was getting real worried about stacking and things, and just this makes a lot more sense. I'm totally on board now. I get it. I got it.
But I think with stacking it can be a very high level thing, especially at a high competitive scene.
Yeah, I think stacking is actually one of the, if it's not the top requirement to really push through and break into that limit of pro playing for this game, it's definitely one of the major requirements is learning how to play the stacks out properly.
Oh, for sure.
Because that's the main thing. That's your back and forth essentially for every turn that's played.
So for every single part of the stack, when it goes to another card, can you activate on something else, or do you have to finish the stack?
Okay, this is where I think it gets really confusing. I think that's why I said sentence structure is very important.
That's why I'm asking. Do you finish?
Alright, cool.
Do you finish the stack, or do you get to resolve other things? Can you, if he does the Zodiac thing, does the removal, and then you come back and it still does the thing? Does he get to respond to if something blew up? Does he get to if there are cards that do that? I don't know what's in the game right now, but you ping something for 2,000. Do you get to respond with stuff? Do more things?
Yes, I believe that you could stack something else to that.
Yeah, so you
Okay,
can
so
add stacks.
So it goes back to the stack chain, and you just put another card on top of the stack.
Yeah.
If you're able to.
Or
Yeah.
it's he kills his forwards, right?
Yeah.
With
Zodiac.
With Zodiac. Thank you. I don't know why I can't remember this name.
It's okay. I can't pronounce names.
So he kills his forwards, and then say your card fizzles at that point, right?
Yeah.
So his card will fizzle, but if he has anything else he wants to do as well, so my forwards died, then I can activate this ability or something. He can shove that right into the middle of the stack, and then
Before the card fizzles or after the card fizzles?
it would be probably.
What I'm wondering is
it kind of
after
opens up
this-
whenever.
Well, that's what I mean. Is just
That's the weird
if the
thing.
stack finishes, can you respond to things that happened inside the stack?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's why I said sentence structure
So,
is very
man.
important.
Yeah. So you can
Yeah.
you can insert
So
and
I'm
create
on board,
a
and I think I
separate-
figured this out. But holy shit!
Yeah,
It's
so, as-
we have 6 stacks, and I'm gonna play this card to respond to the third thing that happened in the stack.
So say this is your
Yeah,
standard
your
stack,
stack.
right? So as it starts dwindling
Resolve,
down,
resolve,
you can be
resolve.
like, oh, I'm gonna stop here, insert something, and you create a whole nother stack that just has to resolve itself back in to the main stack. It's really
you create a stack that's just go try and see if I can do this for the camera. So you got your normal stack, you get through your 2, and then I'm gonna start this one. So now you have this stack starting right here. I'll chain on this stack over here, so resolve
Yup.
this stack here.
yeah, it's possible, but
That's crazy.
Definitely something we'll have to go over more in depth later
yeah,
on.
I think the stack is the funniest.
Yeah, 'cause
I'll have
I-
to play more
the most
games to really
interesting thing.
understand.
yeah, and I'm still trying to learn about the stack. Honestly, it's a very complicated thing when you get into
You
it.
did drop yours.
I did drop mine.
So, any final thoughts that we have? Because, on it, so I would like to say I enjoy this game. It's in my top 3, my big 3
Yeah.
of card games to play. I really like the mid range that this game plays at. Because a lot of other card games that I play currently are pretty fast paced. This one gives you a chance to breathe. It's really relaxing. Gives you a chance to breathe and adjust to your opponent a lot easier. You can ease your way in than playing what's something super fast paced, like Dragon Ball, for instance, can be really fast paced currently.
Dragon Ball
Yu-Gi-Oh
can
is
be
pretty
very-
fast paced
Yeah,
too.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh god, especially currently, that's really
Yeah,
fast
it's basically break my board or you lose.
yeah.
Tam, our off-screen guy, likes to call it puzzle. I played my puzzle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Answer the puzzle. Answer my puzzle. Did you answer your puzzle? Answer my puzzle with your puzzle? Cool. Now my turn to answer your puzzle with another puzzle.
That's actually how Final Fantasy feels. I've had times where I've built really big beefy boards,
Yeah.
and then my opponent just throughout their turn slowly whittles down all of my guys and kills them all, and I'm just well, that was fine. I guess I didn't need this board anyways. We'll try again later, guys.
build another board.
On to game 2.
Okay. So let's close this podcast out, guys. Thanks for joining us. I don't know what to do for now.
That's James. I'm Noah, and this over here to my left is
Byron.
If you guys want to support us, go to patreon.com/TCG University. If you really like the content, support us. We have videos on YouTube. You can support us there. Facebook, TCG University as well. Thank you guys for checking out the podcast.
Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Stay learned.